Hey everybody, getting my clearing. Okay, so today I'm gonna do an extra bonus Sunday reading, and I think I'm gonna do that chakra reading where we do the masculine and feminine on either side. But first off, I just want a quick little glimpse into what is the energy in the collective doing right now as far as food for thought for the masculines and the feminines coming up. What is some good food for thought for the masculines going forward at this time on the journey, whether they think they're on the journey or not? We get confusion with the destined path here, or lots of options. Ooh, there's a crystal mining bunch of crystals there. Anyways, so I do have a couple spots left on one of the days. One of the days is pretty much full now, so there are 3 spots left. Check out the community page if you want more information. My email is there. I think you have to subscribe to see the community page, so also subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you don't like my videos frequently, every little bit counts, and I'm so happy to have you around here. And let's get into it. Okay, secretly this love is in the focus, but let's see. So Divine Creator, what do the masculines most need to be aware of going forward in the near future? Okay, got 3 cards that popped out in the near past. So recently, Divine Masculines, you've started getting an inkling of something changing, is what I'm getting there. Okay, so we get the Page of Cups. This is an apology, or the fish is out of the cup here. So something was said, something happened, something transpired that got the ball rolling in a new direction. And closing out old cycles, karmic cycles, ways of looking at things. This is my card of the free will. 5 of Swords is where we go from taking the easy way, being lazy with energy, short-term thinking, to long-term thinking is the big teeter-totter there. So there's victory to be had when we realize we've been doing something that's underdeveloped, immature, short-term, and we want to be more authentic and represent our truth on a deeper level. So Divine Masculines, something has recently come up where you have changed the course of action. You've put a new standard out there. You've cut off a cycle from the past that was more weak energy or flimsy, in a sweet way, I'm hearing, and now things can change. So that can mean you have set a boundary, or that can mean you've opened the door for something that can grow. So Divine Masculines, you're being asked to pay attention to whatever that change was. Let me get an energetic card. Actually, let's get something here. So what else can we see about this change of course or shift towards a long-term thinking for the masculines? Protection, cave. Okay, so I'm getting a time capsule, like this was always meant to happen on the journey of mastery that is the twin flame journey. So we have these potentials inherent in all of us, and you have unlocked an expanded potential here by being brave, by going forward, following your heart, even if it's been counterintuitive, or for taking a step in a direction that may open the door for more long-term in this connection. So Divine Masculines, let's get one more card for advice. This is so nice. Cellular light, bioluminescence, self-illumination, and simplicity. This is like an ignition, a beginning. In yesterday's reading, I think we got a lot of messages about Divine Masculines not having to figure it all out, but trusting yourselves so that you can initiate things without having all the answers and just see where they go. Allow things to unfold naturally, so the pressure is off you and you're giving it to the universe, the divine, a higher power, whatever it may be. Okay, for the divine feminines, what can we see coming up in the near future? Food for thought. Feminines, what are you meant to be looking at? Internal progress. So this is mindset shifting. I love it because the masculine's got the Five of Swords. I almost used a different deck, and I wonder if the Five of Swords would have come out for you. With the Six of Swords in the reverse, it's almost like what the masculine said, or what the message was for the masculines. So divine feminines, you have got internal progress here, looking at your developmental stage on this journey. So what can we see further for you, divine feminines? Dark matter mystery. This is the exact card that came out for the masculines yesterday about not being as comfortable with the mystery and just taking that next step based on this preparation you've been doing to become an exquisite soul, a master. And so you are safe when you can trust yourself to take even one step that feels 100% yes to you. Brave, uncharted. You don't have to have all the answers, but you don't have to feel unglued or unsafe in the mystery if you pay attention to the present moment. That's all we have. So very similar message for you, divine feminines. Let's get some advice. Isn't that beautiful mirroring for everybody? This landed right on the masculine's card. Impeccability, advancement, and loftiness. I just saw divine masculines and feminines holding hands and stepping at the same time together in my mind's eye. And so there has had to be an alignment of coming on to the same page. And we're sort of seeing that here with the messages from yesterday and this message here today. So you can't make it up. We're tuning into that same energy. And my readings do that. There is a continuity of developing energies and different points of consideration. I don't believe my readings are, I do believe they are timeless because we are attuning to eternal love. So whenever a reading resonates for you, the titles from past readings, I often get messages and comments on videos that it's come up in someone's feed or it's speaking to them now. That is because that is part of the organic unfolding of multidimensional process on this journey. So if past readings appeal to you, the titles speak to you, have a listen. They probably are relevant right now. But we are coming into more of a same page energy in the physical is what I'm getting. So yeah, that's beautiful. Let's see where the chakra alignments are at this time. Thank you, Divine Creator, for bringing through only the highest, most beneficial messages, and look at the mirroring, the union space, the chakra levels, the lenses that we can gain wisdom and messages from here today. So what is it that the divine masculines are experiencing on all the chakra levels? What can we see for the divine feminines and the union space for the counterparts? Okay, here we go. So divine masculines. Oh, let's get the chakra card. So for the crown chakra, stand still, suspended animation, and holding space. Temple of suspended ending. So there may feel like this blip where a lot of counterparts are wondering if it's just done right now. Remember that can change on a moment's notice. This can be just an uncertainty, the mystery, and all of that advice to just take the next step, take a deep breath, take the next step. We don't need to have all the answers. Each step just needs to be sure right now, 100%. Whatever decisions you're making, whatever choices are presenting, feel into them with 100%. So the twin and relationships may not be the primary focus front row and center, but all of the decisions we're making right now are pivotal for our own destined paths and need to be done with peace on the highest, the connection to source. Crown chakra is that completely the main line to the divine, basically. It's our channel, our open channel, our trust, our faith, all of it. So how's this playing out for the masculines right now? Transformation, we get the twin flame card with the victory V. So there is this one's in the reverse, they're both in the reverse actually. So we're in this birth, death, rebirth cycle where the gravity of the situation is doing all the work. There isn't this concerted effort. It's like the ball's been set in motion and there's faith that it's going to settle on the horizon at the destined outcome, but there isn't concern or work involved. There is a peace here. Divine masculines have a deep peace that it will be what it's going to be in the future, and that I'm really getting divine masculines with that fish out of the cup message to begin with, that you set the ball in motion by saying or doing something, whether that was internally or externally, something you've done, set this contraption of energy flowing. It's like a time release, and you are just now open for what results may come or what will occur from here on out. But victory is assured, I'm hearing. Divine feminines, what can we see? Doing the inner work to integrate. This is specifically the Four of Swords is the next card of healing after Three of Swords, which is the heartache. So divine feminines, many are working on some sort of a heartache or witnessing that something that's occurred recently, maybe the fish being let out of the cup, maybe a potential ending or the illusion of an ending or space being taken for many. You could be realizing that it's not as painful as it would have been in any time in the past, that you have done the work. It's mirroring to you that you are more whole than you once were. And it's because of your connection to source. It's because of your reliance on this higher knowing that you're not so apt to be thrown by the circumstances in your 3D reality. There's a sense of peace here for you too, divine feminines. Beautiful. Let's see what we can for the third eye chakra. Adventure, exploration, and discovery. So this is an untethered, autonomous, free-spirited knowing that both twins are sensing here, that it's not dependent or codependent to run your sense of freedom, adventure, discovery through your person. You're seeing that you are independent. You're on a solo, I heard mission, cosmic mission, adventure in this life, and you're allowed to play in your own right. You're allowed to explore, to dive into your gifts, your talents, your hobbies, your interests. It all works together. You're on this autonomous adventure, and it's starting to be something that you're falling in love with yourself over, without needing to have your counterpart aligned on every Velcro layer together about it. You're able to revel in the things that make your heart sing without needing to be attached at the hip, I just heard. So how is this happening for divine masculines? Ending the burden and these baby steps to unhook from things that are, I heard karmic contracts that are binding, the things where we coddle or I'm hearing trophy partner. So times when you've been in relationships, divine masculines, where you've had a partner that hasn't enjoyed the things that you've liked, but you've had to coddle them or carry them through those experiences for appearances, or with the hopes that they would like what you like. This is a time of saying no more to that, and understanding people can truly have varied interests, and we don't have to be successful in the ways that each person wants. There is a compatibility issue coming up here to help divine masculines further release counterparts from the past that did not share the same interests. I'm hearing incredible. What is it for the feminines? Okay, we are getting friendship and strategy here. So divine feminines are up for some adventures, and they secretly know that they are establishing a baseline of friendship. And I'm also feeling compatibility here. So there is I'm feeling that the feminines are feeling more aligned with the masculines, with these said interests that the masculines are realizing haven't been shared with other karmic partners in the past. So divine feminines, you might be tempted to be superstitious that your interests that might happen chance be the same type of things as your masculine adores. You might think that that could be interpreted that you're doing it only for your masculine. Hold on to that friendship and just fight the urge to be superstitious about how you'll be interpreted, and literally be honest with what you love and go for it for your own sake. I remember when I was a teenager asking my daddy, how am I ever going to find friends and a partner? And my dad said, do the things you love to do, and the people that love those things too will just be there. I mean, it's so simple, right? But that is it in a nutshell. Okay, what can we see for the throat chakra? Guyanine and cystocene, commitment, connection, flexibility, and resolution. Wow, so I'm hearing stand the test of time. No matter what you call it, there is connection, there is commitment, flexibility, and resolution coming. So this is how we communicate from a place of safety, from a place of unconditional love, from a place of knowing, from a place of wholeness. This is compatibility, again, is a key word coming up here, where we don't have to convince ourselves or others that our hearts are in things. It's just a natural alignment. And so there's no neediness in this, no neediness in the wording, no neediness in the communication. It's just inherent because it's actually authentically there. What can we see for the masculine? Polarity. Secrets coming to light about this tug-of-war of the heart, the masculine's history of partners with compatibility, and the example this connection offers is what I'm hearing. So there is more coming to light. I'm hearing that the masculines are learning who is friend and foe again, and there's going to be confirmation with karmic situations where the masculines are going to actually see the truth revealed. With the moon in the reverse, that secret's coming to light about energies that have not actually aligned with the masculine, that was a more contrived or forced scenario. It's sorting itself out as people become more transparent, more authentic, and speak from that place. Energy self-organizes because there are no secrets, no undisclosed agendas, and now it just is what it is. I like this, you like this, you don't like that, you don't like this, I don't like this. It just, you know, people just funnel into those outlets that make sense for the individuals, and it does its work for us. It's no guesswork then. So divine masculines, you're starting to see why certain undercurrents of pain, pettiness, passive-aggressive have been there in other relationships, because there's been these disconnects of compatibility. So you're really learning the inner workings of that, and how easy it is to communicate with those who are in alignment. It does not require a lengthy backstory or convincing. So divine masculines are very much learning the ease and grace and freedom that's involved, the lightness in authentic connections. Beautiful message, wow. And the divine feminines, emotional transparency, and this twin flame love compatibility, divine masculine opening up. So for some, the divine masculines and feminines are going to be talking about these compatibilities. We get the 3 reducing to the 2 here, streamlining, and emotional transparency. So divine feminines, your divine masculine is really understanding this deeper layer of emotional navigation, emotional compatibility, and that is bringing this twin flame love in. So whatever the masculines have needed to go through with incompatible relationships, partners, they have had to see that firsthand in order to really be in alignment with this level of connection. And it does feel like there's going to be conversations with the throat chakra, a resolution to some of these confusions with third parties. There's no one like the counterpart for the other. Okay, what can we see for the heart chakra? Metatron star, exaltation, brilliance, triumph, and victory. Look at how green and vibrant that heart chakra energy is. That's so lovely. So Metatron is also angles that we don't necessarily see right off. So there's an aha moment here on the heart. Compatibility is a really big word in this reading today. How are the divine masculines seeing the brilliance, the triumph, the victory on the heart space, the long term? They're seeing how they just are following this free-spirited inner knowing, and that it's actually creating more of an aha moment about the legacy, the long-term potential in this connection that they didn't quite see months, weeks, years ago in the way they're seeing it now. There's an effortlessness by them just following their intuition. It's being shown to them because they are ready to see just how long-term compatible the connection with the divine counterpart is. So yeah, that 5 of Swords in the beginning reading, there is a shift from the short-term thinking about this connection specifically to it being more of a long-term legacy energy. What I remember, actually, I'm being reminded there is a reading, a throwback reading from like 2020, and it was, I don't remember what it was called, but the divine feminines were starting to anchor legacy energy, really understanding life work and mission and purpose. And it was around the time that I came onto YouTube because I was resonating with that, I remember. Okay, for divine feminines on the heart space, yeah, see, cutting the illusion, cutting through the confusion and the illusion. 7 of Cups is where we have too many options, overwhelm, and the Devil is where we feel like things are set in stone and we can't move past it. Both of these cards in the reverse indicate movement through that. So yeah, the energy is flowing. It's moving in this new, more substantial flow towards the long term. Something has been seen. There's victory, obviously, on the heart. So this love has prevailed, I'm hearing. Beautiful. Let's see what it is for the solar plexus chakra. Portals, possibilities, and options. I just heard empowerment. The sky's the limit. So with humility and true empowerment, we can go into uncharted territory and brand new options populate in our reality when we are not subscribing to the limitations and the typical channels that we have to go through from an earth-based structure and form. If we're used to looking at things through the channels of the collective agreement, there is no innovation available, really. It's only a small spectrum of things that are deemed possible. When we pop into the energetics and we start seeing from the eternal lens, now all of a sudden there are all of these genius options available. So on the solar plexus, this is a higher guidance for action that can be taken in new and unusual ways that are next level. What can we see for the divine masculines? Yeah, this heart space opening, allowing for victory. So this is collaboration, dropping the guard on the heart and having more public recognition of the connection between the counterparts. Because of the transformation, there's not so much stigma. Divine masculines, for whatever reason, you're more unafraid to be associated with your feminine in public. This is a card of public recognition, and it has to do with the safety of you opening your heart and feeling more empowered in your own right, so that it doesn't matter what other people think. This has been a huge testament on this journey. So that's going to be different for everyone involved. I'm hearing for some divine masculines, they have been berated by karmic partners, and they have been protecting you, divine feminine, by keeping distance or downplaying the connection until the coast was clear or the dust settled or it was no longer a threat for your romantic relationship to be shown in public. So there's more freedom there. Doesn't have cups with it though, so this may not be a romantic expression in public. This could still be just associating or your name being in conjunction with your counterpart. What is it for the feminines? What are these new portals and possibilities for the feminines? Wow, enlightenment. Okay, legal matters. So this is the lawyer, the judge, the accountant. The King of Swords is a elite sort of pinnacle energy. And with the sword, there are major cuts or transitions or make or break sort of things that can be done. There is profound assurance if you've been waiting on legal decisions or financial channels to open up or contracts to begin or end. This is an incredible time, divine feminines, a definitive time where these portals, options, and possibilities are emerging for you because you've come to this karma cleanup, because you've seen the light of what needs to happen. So this doesn't mean it's playing out yet for everyone. For some who have been in those phases of cleanup and preparation, you are poised to make these pivotal decisions. For some, you're seeing how necessary they are. So I'm getting for a group of feminines watching, you have not made the final heart-based decision, the empowered decision to leave a karmic situation. This is you clearly understanding why that's in your highest and best interest. Never mind whether you're going towards your twin or not. Just for your own right, you're wanting to be impeccable and have your extraordinary life. So whether you have just seen the light that way or you're at the end of transitioning from your old life to your new, there is profound assurance, and something has just opened up or will just be opening up regarding your masculine that you didn't see as potential. It's like a surprise energy here. There's a doorway presenting to the counterparts. So it goes hand in hand. Legal matters, decisions for the feminine, hand in hand with this masculine opening heart, which is the chicken and the egg. Masculine opens heart, things flow in the physical for the feminine. Things flow in the physical for the feminine, the masculine heart opens. So isn't that interesting? And it's all in that solar plexus energy. So it's very action-based here. It's a free will testament of mastery to confidently choose with that much potency that it affects the journey so significantly. But both are doing this. I'm hearing it's a simultaneous effort, and this is even dimensional planes of perception number 2, and I'm getting that represents each of the twins step for step looking to the long term. What was the mirroring energy in the first? It's not being afraid of the uncertainty, but having done the preparation work, able to make these monumental, seemingly insignificant decisions that are stride for stride, spooky action at a distance. Both twins are doing things that may look grand or small right now, and it's doing the same thing to the energy. It's a tandem effort. How beautiful. Okay, sacral chakra. Union. Here's some more of the sexual union, the sacral, the sensual, the not platonic energy coming up. When we get union in the sacral chakra, that is our sexual, our pleasure center. That is our ecstatic center. So this I'm hearing tantra, but this is also clarity, knowledge, channeling. When we are connected to source, when we're in alignment, all of our sensual, our pleasure-based experiences are also in alignment with the higher. So I'll often say that we become barometers, physical barometers on this journey. So our sexual desires and impulses, our zing doesn't light up unless it's appropriate. When we've done the work emotionally, mentally, and physically, we come into alignment with appropriate physical responses, muscle testing. Our energy is inspired towards the things that are good for us and diminished if we are confused about going towards something that isn't beneficial. We can read our pleasure-o-meter in response because it's connected. Again, this is major sacral healing, and this is, I'm going to go into another channeling. This hasn't come out for a while, but the sacral chakra in the objectification templates, the ownership templates, the control dynamics, the fear-based paradigms of the 3D, it's almost like the sacral chakra gets this energetic handcuff. When the sacral chakra cannot function appropriately, we forget the voice of the divine. Because the voice of the divine is true ecstasy and bliss, it's the highest frequency of love, joy, appreciation, celebration, praise, worship, ecstasy. If that's not safe to go towards, if our sacral chakra has been knocked out through all of those lower vibrational experiences, this is why the Garden of Eden story is so pivotal, is because that sexual temptation or abuse or the bombarding of the over-sexualization of connection even, all handcuffs our sacral chakra, and pleasure is no longer deemed safe or trustworthy, and we forget the voice of the divine. So this is an incredible victory that we have this unified channel open to the higher, to the divine, to the ecstatic. So how is that playing out for the masculines right now? So we've reclaimed the sexual healing, the pleasure healing. Okay, divine masculines. We are getting, I think that came out in the reverse. So there's more of an immediate putting down of this wounded healer, guarded energy. The Nine of Wands, it's this slogging away perseverance towards a goal, and this is the waiting game. So both in the reverse, we've got this immediate putting down of the struggle, waiting no longer, and breathing a sigh of relief. I just heard allowing pleasure in, being receptive without further ado to the things that feel good in the highest, in the ecstatic. So that's not the repressed, rebellious feel good. That's the authentic desire for authentic pleasure. That doesn't mean taking the easy way. It's this more long-term focus. So saying no to the temptations and really dropping into allowing things to be there for the long term. The divine feminines, we're getting the Five of Swords in the reverse. So this is the same card. I am not surprised that it showed up. It was the card that we talked about at the beginning for the masculines, their free will, that the feminines I thought the feminines could get that card as well, but we got the Six of Swords in the reverse. Here is the Five of Swords showing up for the feminines. So this is you on that teeter-totter of short-term thinking to really seeing the big picture. This is where we hear things like it's worth the wait. And yeah, so divine feminines, you're allowed to be counterintuitive to those around you that this love is worth waiting for. It is standing the test of time because the payoff that you're getting, because of the divine knowing that you are getting on this journey, it's creating this extraordinary version of yourself, and you are voting with that, with your free will. So your free will is aligning to the divine plan. And it's a marvelous journey because it's not easily articulated, and it's got all layers of benefit that aren't straightforward. It's an intricate process, and that's probably why it's so simple and yet so complex. The odds are staggering. The odds are so staggeringly stacked against these kinds of epiphanies and the ecstasy. It is a little bit more multidimensional than the average connection, isn't it? So yeah, it's humbling, and it confirms that there, I just heard there was no darn chance to deviate from the destined path. With the star in the reverse, it can be also an immediate energy of recognition. So there's some indication, some ecstatic indication of union here between the two. Something about the divine path, the moment being now, that's reflected in both of these cards. And divine feminines, you're clearly seeing the result of the wait here. Something, an energetic epiphany, a 3D proof, some sort of a shift, some sort of that fish being let out of the cup, some update on the journey. Seems like it is monumental right now on the destined path. There's something that just clicked for both. So if you don't know what that is right off, meditate, pray, ask to be shown what that is, and stay open because it's coming. I just heard. There's a confirmation of, I heard closeness and alignment coming in for all the counterparts. Okay, on the root chakra, what are we getting? Temple of meditation, communion, contemplation, higher mind. So communion, root chakra is the most physical. And so communion in the physical, it's coming. You're coming into physical alignment here. Communion, the spiritual, the higher mind, aligning to bring you physically together to commune. There is a 69 on the top of that, but we won't talk. Oh wow, reunion and then sexual connection, both in the reverse for the masculines. So divine masculines are wondering about the sexual connection when they see you again. They are wondering if the sparks will fly. They are trying to keep an open mind, open heart about it, but they are very curious as to the attraction that will happen the next time they see you in the physical. They're not wanting to have an undue buildup though, so it's sort of being kept at bay from what I'm feeling. They don't want it to cloud their vision. They want to be clear so that if it doesn't happen, they remain balanced and masterful. But they are also curious at this stage of the game if that can ignite again or for the first time. They are curious. And feminines, romance, Knight of Cups, and the Hermit. So also looking to this destined path, also wondering about the romance. You just can't make it up. So both are putting down the weird energy, the imbalanced energy, and looking towards this union. We got this beautiful union on the sacral chakra. So whatever the deal breaker or the developmental energies were that have made the sexual connection, the sensual connection volatile, I'm hearing that is grounding with this all being in the root chakra. So if you are not in communication, or you're out of contact or at a distance for some reason, this is balancing out to bring you together for this potential meet up. If you're physically together, this is clearing the things that have not allowed for the pristine energetic exchange in a sensual way. That is so beautiful. Okay, let's get a message for the divine, being told to go to the different deck, for the divine masculines who have watched this. Temple of Celestial Revelations, Angelic Assistance, Truth, Salvation, and Majesty. So divine masculines, you have had the angelics whispering in your ear in the recent past, prompting you to go towards your feminine. It's a confirmation that that has been so. I never get these timelines, but for the last 72 months, divine masculines, the angels have been ministering to you and preparing you for union. What a beautiful message. And what can we see for the feminines? The great elation, reconfiguration, cycles, and gratitude. It fell pretty much bang on the same distance in the past, where the masculines realized that the angels were working with them to bring them into inspired contact with their feminine. So divine feminines, you've also realized something shifted. You became more grateful spontaneously, and that's how the energy works behind the scenes. So for many, you had a burst of opening in the heart and gratitude, because you saw the cyclical nature of this, that your divine counterpart, there are revolutions with your divine counterpart, and you stopped being so afraid it was over for good if there is out of sight, out of mind. Because of the waves of energy and learning on this journey, you became more grateful than not that it's like the peekaboo energy. I remember some readings a while back where the twins were learning that out of sight was not out of connection. It was an illusion, and that these cycles do indeed keep coming back around on the energetic levels and the physical levels. Mind you, that does happen in karmic situations and anything we're learning. So always remember, keep doing those things increasingly without pain, with those who can match you in love and light. Many blessings. Bye for now.